Hi my loves! Welcome back to my channel, and today I thought I could do 23 things I learned in 2023. As the year is wrapping up, I wanted to be able to make a video showcasing all of the life lessons I've learned, both things that you may have already known and things that I already know, but I haven't put them into practice or I haven't fully grasped the concept of them until this specific year. So let's dive right into it. The first one is people have a right to get hurt. Yes, you heard that right. People have a right to feel all types of their emotions, from happiness to sadness to getting hurt. We cannot prevent them from getting hurt. That's just not our job. They would never be able to grow fully into the potential of what they could be as human beings if we always step in and fix the problem for them. The second one is we make space in the closets for things to coexist. So, for things like forgiveness, you don't always have to forgive everybody. I think in terms of how that works for our emotions is that there is a closet, and this is something I have learned. You have your closet, and there are things that that person did and the way that it made you feel. But instead of forcing yourself to forgive them, we can make room in that closet for more feelings to coexist. One of the best things I have learned, but also one of the hardest things to put into practice, is you've heard everybody say, be yourself, everybody else is taken. Number three lesson I've learned this year is be unapologetically yourself. If you're angry, be angry. And not in the sense where I'm telling you or I'm condoning violence. No. If you're worried about looking a certain type of way, you're worried about looking emotional, if a situation evokes those emotions, be emotional. It's okay. You're not any less of a badass person just because you cry or just because you're sobbing or you finally voice out and break down. It is normal. That situation evoked those emotions out of you. Number four is forgiveness applies to you as well. This is pretty self explanatory, but I've learned this year, especially, that you can forgive yourself. And that is probably one of the hardest things to do because you have to sit down and live with the mistakes that you did. And you also have the blessing of knowing better so you don't do those things again. Number five is everyone is meeting you where they're at. Some things that people do, like ghosting you, honestly, that speaks more on their character than it does yours. You don't have to take everything personal because not everything is personal. People just meet you where they're at, and some people are emotionally unavailable, some people are not ready for some things just yet. Number six, when you stay quiet, you're keeping someone else's peace rather than yours. Number seven, this is a quote I've heard from Kwame Ture. I hope I'm saying that right. Liberation is our word. Peace is the white man's word. Especially with everything happening around this time of the year or things that we have finally been exposed to the light. Peace is not what people want, okay? Justice and liberation is what we want. Because peace only means that other people, usually the oppressor's voices, are much louder than the oppressed. And that's not what we want. We're not fighting for a crumb, we're fighting to have the whole bread. Number eight, people have a right to be punished. Just like number one, people have a right to get hurt, people also have the right to reap what they sow. Sometimes when people in the house don't pick up after their laundry, right? What does that mean? That means you cannot step in there and put their dirty clothes in the laundry instead of them doing that. It will teach them a lesson when, okay, they did that, and then what happens tomorrow? Tomorrow they don't have clean clothes to wear for work or they don't get the outfit that they want. That's because they have to learn that they have to pick up after themselves. So people have a right to be punished as well. Number nine, grief has no timeline, it ebbs and flows. You don't always have to put pressure on yourself to feel like you have had to move on from the situation at this point in time, or just because you're this old now that you have to be completely healed from everything that you've been through. No, some things will always remain, and that is okay. That is not a scary thing. It might seem like a scary thing, but it's not. It is a very typical and normal part of life. Number 10, emotions can coexist. Both guilt, frustration, and empathy for people, including your parents, your loved ones, your partners, they all can coexist. You can feel bad for someone for the way that they were brought up or for the things that their past partners have done to them, but it can also be just as valid to be angry at them for the way that they're treating you. These things all coexist. You don't always have to feel like you have to only feel one emotion, which is either anger, which also has layers to it, or just pure happiness. Things can coexist. Number 11. If you tend to be an impulsive or emotional buyer, wait 3 to 7 days before deciding to buy something. And this is because I tend to be one of those people. I have set one of my goals in the new year to learn how to be a more conscious buyer, which means that if I really want something, let me ask myself a couple questions first. How to make the process a little bit more easier for myself is I told myself if I wait 7 days or 3 to 7 or even more days, that would be even better, and I still really need this thing, then I can buy it. Number 12, saying how you feel will never ruin a real connection. This is just intertwined with the lesson that I've said about how keeping the peace. You never want yourself to be suffering just to keep someone else happy. That's not how relationships work. And that doesn't just mean romantic, that goes for everything. You want to be able to have the safe space to say what you need to say. And if someone else can't comprehend that without turning it into an argument, that was never a strong connection to begin with. Number 13, you are more than enough. Let me say that again. You are more than enough. If you find yourself quieting or silencing parts about yourself to fit in somewhere or to fit in with a certain someone, that person is not right for you. All of you deserves to have a shining spotlight. Number 14, hair grows back. I realized that this time as of last year, my hair was also in a bob, or it was also, neck length. And sometimes I get really down about how my hair looks, how my appearance looks. But I learned that hair grows back. Hair grows back. I'm young, no matter how young you are, 79, 54, 20, you can cut your hair. If that's what you want, you can cut your hair. You're so beautiful, you're much more than beautiful, and hair grows back. You are okay. Even if it doesn't grow back, you are still it does not take away from your worth as a person. Number 15, sleep helps a lot. Rest is very productive. I used to be the type of person where I would love to just get things done in the middle of the night. That's where I felt most productive. That's where I felt safest. But I also realized that rest helps a lot. And it is so productive to rest your body and to get the sleep that you need. Number 16, you don't have to force yourself to cheer up. Feel what you need to feel. If you're feeling depressed, feel it. Nobody is judging you. I'm not judging you. It is okay to feel what you need to feel. Number 17, fresh air helps a lot along with drinking water. Hot girl walks and an investment in your health is always a great choice. After all, they say health is wealth. Number 18, unless people ask for it, you don't always need to step in to fix other people's problems. Like I said, this goes back to what we talked about earlier. You're robbing people a chance to grow when you step in and fix things for them, even if you love them. If they are not asking for your help, you don't always have to feel the need to dive and swoop right in to fix their problems for them. You need to let people grow, especially if you love them. Number 19, learn to be compassionate to yourself when you don't get to do everything on your to-do list or have consistent time management, especially now this year is rapidly coming upon us. Learn to have some compassion for yourself when you don't always get to meditate or you don't always get to do your projects or reports on time. It is okay. You are still just as hardworking and as amazing as you were yesterday. It's okay. We have to have compassion for ourselves. After all, we're humans, we're not robots. Number 20, everyone's pain is interconnected somehow. People that you know outside of you or in your family or social circle must also be going through something. So it's important to remember to practice compassion for you and for other people involved because you don't know what other people are going through. And if you talk to people that you love, chances are their pain must also be connected to you. So let's take this example. So let's say you are a child of two people and you are really frustrated because you didn't get to turn in your homework on time because neither of your parents were available to help you. You get really, really frustrated, and it's completely valid. But then you find out when you get older that your parents were working two jobs to feed you, your siblings, or a family back at home. So everybody's struggles are always interconnected, and it's important to remember these things so that we hold space and we hold compassion for ourselves and for our loved ones. Number 21, Boycotting has everything to do with us gaining things rather than losing. Not spending money actually puts more money back in your wallet. So you don't always need the latest, newest drinks or to be buying things from brands that don't support human rights. That should be a given. Number 22, habits take time to form and they make a difference. So for me, I have had the pleasure of learning how to form a habit of making time in the morning and at night to do breathing techniques to help my anxiety down. And it has worked. Obviously, I'm holding space for myself because I don't always have the time to be doing that, but it's okay. Just know that habits take time, weeks, months to form. So we have to be consistent if we want something to work in the long run. And last but not least, number 23 is that reading should never be a chore. I know that I had said this in my last video, but hobbies are for you. You don't always need to feel like you need to be creative or to be doing something to be considered productive. These things are for you. These things are for your enjoyment. And I know that I'm saying you, but I'm also referring to myself. These are things that I am learning just now, and I am learning how to put into practice because these lessons are lessons that I've learned and also lessons that I think I'm going to keep on learning even as the new year and new years come upon us. As always, thank you so much for watching.